a lot of information, and I believe they'll comply with our request. It's very important that they do. We really want to take a look back, and we really want to look at a lot of documents to determine what went wrong earlier on, if anything went wrong earlier on. And so that request is pending, and we know that they'll be doing their gathering the information that we've collected. We want their cooperation as we look in depth at this electronics issue, because we're going to go in the weeds on this. People have asked us to do this. We think it's important that we do it. Some people believe that the electronics are a part of the problem, and it's our responsibility to really check that out. And so we're going to do that. We need their cooperation in that. I don't know that they won't cooperate, but you know, there have been some studies done by some people that they hired, but also by a fellow at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. We want to look at that information. We want to see if they have any information, independent of people that they've hired. So we're going to continue to really look into that aspect of their automobiles.
All right, let me ask you a couple of other things. I seem to have recall that I read that NHTSA has approximately 700 employees. Is that correct?
Yes, round numbers. That's pretty accurate.
There was some mention about some of this occurring, some of the bad things happening on somebody else's watch, but most of those employees are civil service employees, I assume, or in other words, and most of those employees are still there today that were there.
Some of them are, and they're all career people.
Right. And judging from your earlier testimony, you're pretty satisfied with the response that they made at the time, or the investigations that were made at the time, and what's been done since you came on board.
One of the reasons we made this huge request to Toyota is we want to make sure that when our people put eyes on paperwork prior to this, that we had everything. But I'll tell you this, we have some of the most professional career people. They take their jobs very seriously when it comes to safety, because they know what the work they do could save lives and save injuries. But we want to make sure they had all the information.
All right. Let me ask you about one other thing. I've heard on the news, and I don't know what the details are, but there apparently was some braggadocio, or or at least happiness by some Toyota engineers or Toyota employees for getting NHTSA to reduce an earlier recall or hold it down to a very small number, and they have claimed that they saved Toyota $100 million or some huge amount of money. Do you know about that?
Well, no, I saw the press reports where Toyota was talking about that, and but I'll tell you this, Mr. Duncan, we're not going to compromise when it comes to safety, not on my watch. We just aren't. We're going to hold Toyota's feet to the fire. We're going to get all this information. We're going to make sure that what we looked at before was correct, and if there's new information, then we'll put it out there. But so, you know, Toyota made some statements about, you know, saving some money, but it was, from my point of view, it will not be at the expense of safety.
And these earlier reports about NHTSA not having electrical engineers or software engineers, you said that was untrue, and you have plenty of electrical and software engineers.
We have electrical engineers. We have over 200 engineers total, about 230, and we have electrical engineers.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The gentleman from Tennessee's time has expired.